This is very zoomed in. If you can't tell, we are at the cottage. I have not vlogged in a very, very long time, but we're finally doing something fun. I didn't do anything in June, but we're at the cottage for a week. We got here yesterday and it is not looking great in terms of weather. It's been somewhere in between pouring, drizzling since we got here, and it looks like that is going to continue, which is fine. Like, we can still canoe and kayak and stuff, but we probably won't be doing as much swimming. But I've already finished a book. I finished a series. I had been reading the Rosewater series, the Wormwood series by Tade Thompson for like a year and a half, probably more than that. And I just finished the last book and I really enjoyed it. So I've already started another book. So I think I'll be doing a fair amount of reading. Because the day looks like it's going to be very rainy, we're gonna go antiquing. My sister went yesterday and got so much stuff. Some really beautiful like ceramic Christmas decor, and she got me a few things because she knows it's in my Christmas aesthetic. But we're gonna go back today because I wasn't there yesterday and just go to a couple of antique stores. But I'm in the car with Riley, who has the fear of being left behind, so whenever anybody opens a car door he has to insert himself. But yeah, that's the plan for today, and then probably get on the canoe, read, color, and just have a wonderful time. And then we're gonna do some like a seafood situation tonight. But that's the plan for today. We just got back from the little general store where we got breakfast. It's my favorite place in the world. I brought you there last time. I know I haven't vlogged in ages, but that's just because I haven't done anything. And I am sick of vlogging from my itty-bitty apartment because just nothing happens. And I have been like so embedded in work that I've just on the weekends I'm just exhausted. So I'm finally unwinding, not checking my work computer at all for a week, and really going to enjoy myself. So I'll show you what we get at the antique store. I'm hoping for some success. Riley has just really plopped himself down. He just ran like loops and loops and loops on the big field at my grandpa's house, so he is exhausted. He's not a puppy anymore, so he is tuckered out. Arthur, be nice. Arthur, you gonna go? We had a pretty successful antiquing day, so I want to show you the very random things we got. First, I really need a container to hold my coffee grounds because right now I have just multiple bags, and this is very, very cute. So a little tin coffee ground holder, and then that was really inexpensive. The only thing that actually cost some money is just this beautiful ceramic mushroom, and it's because I have a vision of when we move what my library nook will look like, and this just belongs on my future shelves. So I'm obsessed with this. Also goes with today's look. And then what I think is a really cool necklace that divided the crowd. I'm not going to put it on because it's kind of hard to take on and off, but I think it's really cool. So that was that's everything. And then a couple of like kitschy Christmas things that are all wrapped up because they're a lot of glass. So that was our antiquing day. We just got back from breakfast in our favorite little very quaint town. I am on the hunt for the cutest, quaintest towns because I'm ready to live in one of them. My hair is very, very puffy today. I'm using this new stuff, Wave Whip curling mousse. After I shower, my hair is still soaking wet, just like covering my hair in it and then scrunching, and it doesn't get like hard at all, which is really nice. I know I also need like curly shampoo and curly conditioner, but I haven't done enough research, so I don't know what type to get yet. But I just saw this in Target and picked it up, and I think it's working. It's also the humidity, so it's a mixture of things. But the curls are definitely curling. I have them pinned back because the baby hairs don't stay down. Favorite time of day here. The very early morning. It's my favorite time. Oh, ew. To hear all the loons that come out, and the water is like so calm, and there's no speedboats. It is just like absolutely serene. So I always get up early when I'm here, and just sit in the screened in porch and enjoy the view. I actually have this thing. It started probably since I started working, where on vacations, even on weekends, on like a normal weekend, but especially when I'm away on like a trip, I can't sleep in. And I know that I could sleep in if I literally just stayed in bed. I could absolutely sleep in, but I set my alarms for like 5:30, 6 a.m., 6:30, because I have this feeling of like I need to make the most of it and get the most out of my days and not sleep in, because I see sleeping in as like wasting time, which I know it's not, because I know that I'm tired. Not all the time, but I know that I'm tired often and could definitely sleep in, but I have this like fear of like wasting my off time. I don't know. Obviously I enjoy the views, and I've always gotten up very early here, but just in general I have this fear of like wasting the time that I know I don't have to like be online or be worried about work. I don't know. So I'm tired. Today is our last day. I know I haven't spoken to you a lot. I have just like, I really just love it here so much. It is my favorite place in the world. And if I could spend like, not even just the entire summer here, but just like a good like 6 to 8 months out of the year, I think I would. And it's not totally off the table, you know? I could try to swing it and make it happen some way. But yeah, I absolutely love it here. I have been reading, because I want to actually talk to you about books. Sorry, there are like bugs flying around. I have been having the most fun time reading, because if you remember, for my birthday, I had a gift card, and I very, on a whim, purchased the entire Rain Wild Chronicles, which is a 4-book series by, sorry, there's like literally bugs on the speaker. It's a 4-book series by Hobb, who is a fantasy writer, and I just picked that series up on a whim. It looked interesting, and they had all of the little paperbacks, and I loved that little paperback size, so I picked up all 4 books, having done no research. I spent the entire month of June reading the entire series. That's all I read. I just could not stop. I loved them so much. It is about dragons and their human keepers who go on this long journey together to find this ancient city of dragons and elderlings. Elderlings being part human, part magical, mythical being that a dragon creates to be their partner and their kind of their servant in life. So I was introduced to the realm of the elderlings, which is a much bigger world that Hobb creates in like a handful of series, which of course I didn't know. But after loving those books so much, it's just like kind of this beautiful fantasy world where there are like these touches of magic. There's dragons, there's elderlings, there's memory stone, there's these ancient cities. There's definitely magic, but it's really about the relationships. And I feel like we followed these people, and because I read them in like really back to back, I just like fell in love with these characters, and I feel like Hobb really treated them with like kindness and gave them a little bit of grace. They're all kind of flawed and complicated and lovable, and all of their characters, I feel like overall everyone's character developed in a way that felt like tasteful and nice and with love. So I just really enjoyed them, and I love a bit of dragons. So after loving that series so much, I finally started doing some research into who this woman is, who is Robin Hobb. And she has so many books, and I realized that I probably should have done my research, because the realm of the Elderlings, like I said, is like this overall world that she creates, and it is recommended to start with either the Live Ship Traders Trilogy or the Farseer Trilogy to enter this world. I was looking for one of those books, one of those series to bring on this trip. I was really keen to start the Live Ship Traders series, because I think the live ships and that magic, which we're introduced to and like play a pretty big role in the Rain Wild Chronicles, that's like some of the coolest magic that's in these books. I just thought the live ships are so cool. I want one. But I couldn't find those. So I found the Farseer Trilogy, and I am just as upset that I have this edition as you are. I obviously wanted like the beautiful tan cover that all of Hobb's books have, so I bought this one because it was on sale, but I am still going to get the entire series, the entire Farseer series in the edition that I like. I just was desperate to bring this on my trip, so I have started Assassin's Apprentice, which is the first book in the Farseer trilogy. I am like probably 2/3 of the way through, because at the start of the trip I was reading another book, The Rosewater Redemption by Thompson, so I finished another series at the start of this trip, which is like a very different book, but really good all the same. So I am 2/3 of the way through here, and this is about a young boy called Fitz. He's called a couple of different things, but Fitz is the name he's given at the start of the book, and he is a bastard of the king in waiting. So he is brought kind of into the royal household, more so that he can be controlled and seen, and he eventually is charged with becoming the apprentice of the royal assassin. So he is very, like, I think he's like 13 when this happens, so that's where we are now, and he's being trained in all of these like very technical, and they have like this magical feeling. I don't know if the things he's being trained in do have like a magical element. They feel like they might. Fitz is very lovable, very pitiable. He's really lonely, and he has these like beautiful connections with some of the local kids, but still feels quite lonely. And he really gravitates towards animals who bring him a lot of comfort. So that's where we are now. I'm not loving it as immediately as I did with the Rainwild's Chronicles. Like, I can't even explain what happened to me in those books. I just like lost my mind. It's all I could read and all I could think about. But I can tell that I will probably really enjoy this. It's like really good fantasy writing. Again, it's those touches of magic, those really lovable characters that I think will follow for a really long time. And just to be back in this world is absolutely enjoyable. And there seems to be like some diplomacy that will happen. So that's where we are, but it's like one of my favorite things is to find a new, not even a new book, but a new author that I want to read everything that they've ever written, because it happens pretty infrequently. Like, obviously I've got Vandermeer, I've got Mantell, I've got Susanna Clark, Toni Morrison, those people who I want to read everything by. But those are like people who I've read a lot of their books already, and they're not new to me. Whereas Robin Hobb, she has so many books, and I've only just discovered her. Obviously, I've then gotten on, Book Talk and seen that Robin Hobb makes quite a splash, and people are obsessed with her books, but I was just not in the know. So I'm very excited to be joining this Robin Hobb community. So we are heading out today, back home, back to reality, and we're going to try to get here maybe once more this summer to see my grandfather, and then again in the fall. So we definitely will get our cottage time in, but I love it here. In the city, which is, I'm extremely lucky to get to live in New York City. In the city, I'm always aware that there's so much going on, and that I always, like, I know myself, I know that I'm not making the most out of living in New York City, because I am either, like, just want to stay home, or I'm getting, like, some anxiety or whatever it might be, that I know I'm not making the most out of living in the city. And I always have, like, this, I guess you can call it, like, FOMO, or just knowing that I'm not living up to, like, what a young 20-something in the city is supposed to be doing, where, like, here, the expectations for my happiness are, like, all the things that come naturally to me, like reading, walking, canoeing, swimming, hanging out with the dogs. Like, the stakes are lower, and not in a way that, like, not lower in a negative way, just they're meeting me where I'm at. So I just feel very myself here. Yeah, that's really it. These braids have been in for so many days. It's not good. There's really, well, that's one thing about the cottage. You don't come here for, like, hygiene. We have, like, layers and layers of sunscreen on and bug spray on at all times. And you jump in the lake. There is a shower, like, we do have a shower, but it doesn't feel like you're getting super clean. But, like, I don't really care about that. Like, I'll jump in the lake and I'm fine. I don't care. That works for me. It's a week. I'm gonna love you and leave you, but thank you all so much for watching. I know that I owe you all the most wrap-ups. The most. I don't think I've done April, May, or June. And now we're into July. Well, now June was Hobb, and then before that I did read some, like, really good books, so I do want to talk to you about them, but now I'm, like, overwhelmed by all the books I have to talk about, so I still might split them up, just so you get something, but I can, like, have like an April, May, a June, July. But yes, thank you all for watching, and I will see you hopefully very, very soon in a wrap-up coming our way.